so much bigger and better. And if anything lifts the side, it is having support like this.
It was always pin drop silence over here. I mean, it's because she is here they're making the noise. I mean, otherwise we had no problems whatsoever. I'm telling you. What are you saying, David?
Absolutely. And David's has to be distributing those, what do you call it? It's a difficult word. Not the bugle, it's called van something or vag something. I don't remember. David's not going to help me, is he?
I have a quick question right here, and that goes to Basit. Now, this is a big event for Peshawar and for Lahore Qalandars because this decides where do you finish. You could have a 1-2 finish and 2 bites at the cherry. How do you see this encounter for the two?
It is quite difficult for Peshawar to leapfrog Lahore at the moment, but obviously it's a huge advantage, as we all know, to have those 2 chances to get to the final. But again, at the very last sort of group game, you don't want to falter here because once you go into that playoff, yes, it's a new game, yes, we say that all the momentum didn't finish, but you still look back at the very last game that you have played. So you go into the final with a playoff is a feel-good factor.
Well, let's have a look at the points table, how things are standing at this point of time with all the teams. Multan Sultans are obviously leading the charts. They are the table toppers. And then you've got Qalandars at 12, Peshawar Zalmi at 10. But the 4 spots have been sealed now with obviously the top 2 teams having an advantage of winning the next game and going straight into the finals.
Let's also have a look at the playoff tree. We know Multan Sultan is right there at the #1 position, so they will have a second chance for the qualification. But David, if I bring you in, these 2 sides playing, who do you see finishing off 1-2?
Well, I suspect, as Baz was saying, I suspect that the Qalandars have enough in hand, even if they lose by a small margin, any sort of margin, they will still be number 2. So I'm very much expecting Sultan's Qalandars to be in that first match. That leaves Zalmi. They'll be playing in the eliminator 1. But I mean, the thing is, the one thing I find important, or I think is important, is that even though you have these extra chances potentially, sides like to keep winning. It's a very, very good habit to have. So yes, if you have the extra chance, if you lose in that first qualifier, nice to have what you might call a safety net. But the best thing to have is winning form all the way through, get to the final, and then try and save your best for last.
Well, one man who's sort of helped Lahore Qalandars' journey so far has been Fakhr Zaman, and he also features in our sparkling moments of the day.
Well, yeah, he's been one of the form batsmen of HBL PSL 7. From my own view of him, he's been playing as well as I've ever seen him. He's probably missed out in 1 innings, no more than that. He is so important to the way both that they compile their runs and the speed at which they get them, because he hits the ball 360. So if he fires again, any game, whether it's tonight or over the next couple of games, then they always get off to a good start.
Okay, we talk about the leading run getters. Let's have a look at this chart over here. The graphic shows us how good Fakhr Zaman has been throughout the tournament.
Yeah, leading run getter, 521. He's been consistent and he's played a few different roles. He's actually power hit or got them off to a flyer and then sort of batted through the innings. Last time around, he actually played second fiddle to Brook. And then you've got Rizwan and Shan Masood. So those 3, it's very difficult to pick out one of them being the best batter of the tournament because those 3 have been in sublime form all the way through.
Well, you talk about sublime form. One guy who's missing today from Lahore Qalandars, of course, is Rashid Khan. He's not playing. Plenty of withdrawals from Peshawar Zalmi as well. How is that going to impact the game, David?
Well, Rashid is unique. He is very, very special. I mean, time and time again, we see him, especially in the middle overs, deceiving batsmen, picking up wickets, run rate drops, and Qalandars normally gain control of the game in those middle overs. So, yeah, it's a shame, and also on the entertainment level. For the rest of us who might be neutral, a shame not to have him here, but they have replacements. Fakhr comes in who can bowl not quite the same sort of magic, but they have a sort of kind of like-for-like replacement if they need it.
Okay, final day of the round games, and we've got an amazing encounter right ahead of us. But before that, we'll take a short break. When we come back, Uruj Mumtaz will tell us how to catch.
Welcome back to the pitchside studio. Plenty to look forward to in today's game. It's Lahore Qalandars taking on Peshawar Zalmi. Now, we've seen some brilliant catches in this tournament. It's time to head over to Uruj Mumtaz, who's there with some catching drills.
Right, so today we're going to talk about some basics of fielding, and there are multiple disciplines. Obviously the close in slip catching, which requires your reflexes to be really quick, but most important, the inner ring fielding, point, a key position, extra cover, mid wicket, and then the deep fielding as well, where you need to make ground and sort of stop the boundaries and do high catches as well. But today I'm just going to talk about a few basics. Get into a reasonably good position with your feet and you're equally balanced in the center. And then importantly, you can't see on the heels of your feet because that doesn't allow you explosive movement. And in this position, so you're low, which is the key. Because this position allows you to keep your head still and move explosively, whether it's laterally, up or down. Now there is a bit of a debate whether you catch reverse cup or conventional. I feel it's a personal preference because I've seen the great Ricky Ponting go really down with reverse cup as well. So just on all of those points, we'll try and do a few basic tips here, because for all of you kids, you can practice this at home. So I've got a few friends throwing some balls. Let's see if I can show you what I just said. So low balanced base, hands in a good position, and eyes most importantly on the ball. And that allows me to move laterally very well as well. Now this one, I've gone reverse cup low, but because I've gone low, I've managed to take this one. And again, here. I like that. So just basic quick drills coming to you, which can have your reflexes. Oh, I wish I'd had that one. But I hope you've enjoyed these basic trips and you can try this at home.
No match pressure and a tennis ball. So, well done. We get the point. Well done. This is how you actually catch. We have seen some great catches, though, in the tournament HBL PSL 7, starting from Karachi. Let's have a look at that, and guests will talk about it. What do they feel about certain catches? Let's start with David.
Well, yeah, this is mighty clever. It's all about awareness, knowing where the boundary is, and being tall in that case. Tim David obviously having the advantage of height. This is just natural brilliance. Keeping an eye on the ball, athleticism from Baba, and making sure that when you hit the ground, you don't let it go as well. And that's, well, instinctive. There's nothing more than that. It's absolutely instinctive. And the high ones, well, they always get hearts aflutter, don't they? When it's going up in the air, sometimes you have too much time to see it. On the boundary again, this is brilliant because those low ones are so hard to take. You've got to move quickly. Hassan Masood saw that straight away. Moved quickly initially, got his hands low, deceived the third umpire. That's also the key sometimes. I mean, that was absolutely clean. One of the things that really bugs me actually is when the third umpire isn't quite sure when it's referred, and we all know it's out. But those were a series of brilliant catches.
They certainly were, David. But I mean, we've seen a variety of catches, Bazid. I mean, you've played a lot of cricket. Which one did you find to be the toughest one? You know, there's obviously the high catch, the low diving one. Which is actually the most toughest catch?
Now, look, the skill that they have of actually catching it and going out of the boundary and then being aware of that, that has come in recently. That is phenomenal. That's something we've never seen before, and it's just now the norm. The other catches which are really difficult are the ones where you dive forward because you're aware of your teeth. If you don't get it right, it's straight to Aruj. She's a dentist, as you know. It's straight there. But I tell you what, I'll tell you something boring just to keep your guys down to the ground. These guys practice hours upon hours and upon hours. So fielding is more about repetition than anything else. Slip catching, long catches, these guys practice it all day, all night, and that's why they're so good. It's not just like Sikandar, who comes here and just does the show and goes back. They practice.
It's too loud here. I don't hear anything. Anyway, thank you, Bazit. Thank you, David. We'll catch you guys later. Time for us to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about match 30, Lahore Qalandars versus Peshawar Zalmi.
Well, back at the pitchside studio, और दो नए guests मेरे साथ मौजूद हैं, मरीना इकबाल और अरूज मुमताज। अरूज, कैचिंग ड्रिल्स तो हमने आपकी देखी, बड़ी ज़बरदस्त। आखिर में एक कैच भी ड्रॉप किया, लेकिन मेरा ख्याल है जुगतबाजी यहाँ रहने देते हैं। ये बताएं कि पेशावर ज़ल्मी वर्सेस लाहौर कलंदर्स, पेशावर ज़ल्मी भी कुछ चेंजेस हैं, कुछ विड्रॉल्स हैं।
ابراهیم زدران چې د نوموړي خلاف
बात की ही है कि राशिद खान नहीं होंगे उनकी टीम में क्या
فیسبوک لملګرو مننه چې موږ تعقیبي باور کوي اکثره ډېرې د فیسبوک ملګري موږ سره په دغه ژوندۍ بهیر کې ملګري دي او هغه دوستان هغه ملګري چې کوشش کوي موږ پالو کې موږ ته ریکوست کوي د دوی د هم کورونه ودان وي ان شاء الله موږ به تاسو ته په وخت او دقیق معلومات د سپورت له ډګره درکو
आज इनके लिए अच्छा मौका है कंसीडरिंग यस आई नो प्लेऑफ में दे वांट टू फिनिश इन अ पोजीशन बट आई थिंक दैट्स समथिंग दैट दे कैन
लाहौर कलंदर की अगर बात करेंगे तो लाहौर कलंदर ऑफ कोर्स एक ऐसी पोजीशन में है जहां हम सोच सकते हैं कि दे हैव अ चांस ऑफ फिनिशिंग 1-2 वही अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बात हुई राशिद खान की एब्सेंस और वो 4 ओवर फवाद को अगर वो खेल रहे हैं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होंगे
परवाना वर کې په 500 ټکو باندې یوازې یو منډه ترلاسه شوې تیره ور د شکیب الحسن میډن پای ته ورسید په دغه ور کې بیا نو په 500 ټکو باندې تر دې مهاله یوازې یو منډه ترلاسه شوې وروسته بال تر سره کیږي یو سلويخ منډه لري افغانستان 500 گیم ده 500 میچ ده ځکه
हमेशा कदाफी स्टेडियम जबरदस्त